Hey guys, I'm Katie from Mitza Creek Farm. Welcome back to the channel. We are a small diversified farm in northern Wisconsin where we grow Christmas trees, pumpkins, mums. We have a flock of sheep, some Dexter cattle, and we raise pastured poultry. And spring feels like it's finally here. Yesterday was hopefully the last day of cold. It was sheep shearing day. And as the day progressed yesterday, it got a lot warmer, but the wind was still really cold. And now today, it is mid-30s. The sun feels wonderful. There is a breeze, but it's not a cold breeze, so I will take that. I am headed down to the high tunnel to get some work done. But first I have to shovel my way in through there. And while I am doing that, Owen and Beck are putting in a hay bale for the cows. So this is my path I have to take, and I'm wearing shoes. Hey Wally, you love this, don't you? Yes. There is a lovely drift that has blown from my doors. I don't know if I'll be able to get in even. There we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this table moved. I have some seeds on there, so I got to run back up to the house and get a bag to put the seeds in. But I'm going to get this table moved and get the chairs that go with it moved and put it right back in that back corner because, like I said in a previous video, we are resting this whole area back here. And so that won't have anything on it this year. I'm going to try to get some red clover to plant and see if that works as a cover crop back there. If not, we will just put ground cover on. We'll actually do a load of compost first and then put ground cover on. And so this table will get moved to the back at least for the next month or two. Then that way it gives us that much more room to start moving these big ground covers out of the way and get everything else out of here so that we can start getting this ground cover that I'm standing on rolled up. The reason why I'm not just leaving this ground cover here is because this is 32 foot wide and this section is about 40 feet long. And so I want to keep this for one solid piece of ground cover so that we, in the future, if we ever have parties or anything in here, I have a piece without holes in it. So I want to keep this. We have other ground cover that already has the holes pre-burnt in it for tomato spacing, for zucchini spacing, and all of that. So that is what we're going to use. So the ultimate goal is to get this rest of this stuff picked up and moved so that we can start getting the ground cover laid out for the spring vegetables. So I have wax beans here that I was saving the seeds from. And then these are some extra milkweed seeds that I wasn't going to keep because I already had some, but I figured I already have them out. I already have them separated, so I might as well save those too. I can always, if I don't start them all this year, I can start some next year. I hear Owen and Beck outside with the skidder. I had asked Owen if he could maybe plow a path or something so that I can get from here to the greenhouse so that I can get all of the greenhouse stuff moved down. And the snow there is very deep, and so there's no way that it would be shovelable. So let's go see what his plan is. Alright, so I can walk those paths. That's easy to walk. And Beck even got my path going to the house shoveled, so that is wonderful. But we got the door so that it can open. Look at all this ice. We've had so much rain. This is all ice from the rain that we've had. So that's a couple inches right there. It's crazy, but you could see that I asked him if he could put his blade down and he said no. And so he did it because I asked, and it just bogged down the skidder and weighted it up. So it was kind of like throwing an anchor for a boat, so he couldn't go. So he just ran over it a couple of times, and this is how wide the tires are, and that is a nice sized path to walk on, so that's perfect. So now I can very easily get into the greenhouse and get that stuff moved out of there. So Beck got that path there shoveled over to the greenhouse, and I can just easily climb through here to get out. So that is nice. Look at all that snow. That was that last snowstorm we got hit with like 4 or 5 days ago. And he didn't bring the sled back. So the boys both went up to the house to eat some lunch and watch some basketball. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, like, there's a big ladder on the floor. I'm gonna get that stood up. I'm gonna get kind of everything together with its like things so that when they come back down to help, we can just move those piles of things. So that's about all I can do without having a sled or an extra set of hands to help make things go quicker. I have lots of like 10-20 trays and pots to carry down to the greenhouse, and it's really not worth it carrying one stack at a time. So I'm gonna get the sled and get that done. And I also need the sled to haul all these old dead plants out of here that I had piled up. And I also am going to go get some hooks so that I can hang all my extra tools up down here on the walls. So that's kind of the next big thing. And then we have most of the stuff out. So when I have Owen's help again, I'm gonna get this shade cloth moved and that ground cover. This wagon or this trailer here has to stay until we can get it out of here, and we don't have a good enough path to get it out of here. The snow's too deep, so that'll be in here for a while yet, but we can move that into the back so we can start getting this ready. And then the electrical supplies that we have in here from doing electricity need to get put away, and I wasn't quite sure if those are staying here or if those are going to my dad's house so that they're there when he is able to work on a project. He usually grabs the stuff and comes down, but they're all still here. So I need to ask him what he wants me to do with that. And so then we are very, very close to planting in here. So regardless of the yucky weather, spring is coming. It feels like spring in here. Once I get the ground cover and the shade cloth and the trailer moved to the back, I'm actually going to run a hose from the cattle water, and I am going to turn on a sprinkler in here and let it run for a bit so that we can get the ground nice and damp. We will be bringing in compost before we plant in here. So it's just right now kind of a balance of getting things prepped as we can, so that when it is okay to plant, we can quickly and efficiently plant in here. If I was heated, I'd be planting already, but I'm not. And I actually am thinking of doing a couple low tunnels in here for seeds, because it'll be a lot easier to plug in a small heater and do that instead of trying to heat this whole place or heating the greenhouse down there. So we're going to just kind of do step by step and do what we have time for at the time, and then we'll just go from there. So that is it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time.